Breathe. Draw your quiet, heavy awareness entirely away from the frantic, ticking mechanisms of the physical world. Pull your attention back from the calendar, back from the distant, imaginary landscape of tomorrow, and let it sink deeply, perfectly into the absolute, unshakable center of your own chest. Take a very slow, profoundly deliberate breath in. Feel the cool, invisible air expanding the vast, untouchable sanctuary of your physical vessel. And as you release the breath, let the exhausting, agonizing urge to check the clock completely and utterly fall away from your nervous system. There is a magnificent, undeniable, and deeply purposeful reason that this exact frequency has found you today. You did not click on this transmission by accident. You were not brought to this exact coordinate in space and time by the random scrolling of the human mind. The immense, inescapable intelligence of the unified field, which is simply the flawless, unbroken extension of your own divine consciousness, has perfectly, magnetically pulled you into this quiet room to sever the final, heaviest chain of the dense matrix. If you are hearing the steady, grounding cadence of my voice right now, it is a profound cosmic intervention. It is the absolute confirmation that you have mastered the vessel. You have silenced the phantoms of the 3D world, but you are currently exhausting your life force by looking at the horizon. You have done the beautiful, breathtaking work. You stood unblinking through the purge. You dropped the heavy map of calculations, completely surrendering the how to the infinite intelligence of the bridge. You expanded your physical capacity to hold the massive, blinding light of your answered prayer, and you completely detached your godlike energy from the lagging reflections of the physical cast. You are sovereign. You are unshakable. But as you stand in the absolute majesty of your new frequency, wearing the heavy crown of your own creation, you are still subtly, unconsciously participating in one final devastating illusion. It is the illusion of waiting. You have commanded the massive wealth. You have commanded the profound peace. But in the quiet moments of your day, the exhausted character of the old paradigm still glances at the calendar. The old character still whispers to the universe, "When is it going to get here?" The old character still believes that the manifestation is located in a distant, unreachable coordinate called the future, and that they must endure the agonizing passage of linear time to finally reach it. I am here to tell you an ancient, breathtaking truth that instantly, permanently shatters the illusion of the journey. The future does not exist. It is a fabricated waiting room designed to drain your godlike power. If you are waiting for your reality to arrive, you are actively, violently affirming to the quantum field that you do not currently possess it. And because the universe is a flawless, unbending mirror, it will perfectly outpicture your state of waiting by giving you exactly that, more time spent waiting. There is no distance between you and your answered prayer. There is no timeline to walk down. Everything is happening right now. If your beautiful, weary spirit recognizes the profound, staggering relief of this deeply needed realization, if you are entirely ready to permanently collapse the agonizing distance of linear time and step into the absolute, unshakable sovereignty of the eternal now, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Let this simple action serve as a silent, eternal vow to yourself, a promise that you will never again postpone your joy to a tomorrow that never actually arrives. Leave a like on this transmission to physically anchor this unbroken, immediate alignment into your current reality. And in the sacred sanctuary of the comments below, cast your unshakable decree into the unified field. Type these exact words: I collapse the timeline. The reality is now. Rest entirely in this exact moment. You do not need to travel to your manifestation, you only need to inhabit it. Draw your profound, heavy awareness entirely back from the endless, exhausting treadmill of the future and let it sink deeply into the absolute, unshakable center of this exact, magnificent second. Take a very slow, deeply intentional breath in through your nose. Feel the cool, invisible air expanding the quiet, untouched sanctuary of your physical vessel. And as you let the air simply fall away, consciously release the invisible, exhausting tension you have been holding in your stomach. Let your shoulders completely drop. Let the heavy, metallic grip of anticipating, planning, and yearning for a reality that is not yet here dissolve completely into the earth beneath you. You have recognized the profound, breathtaking trap of the waiting room. You have remembered that the urge to check the clock and scan the horizon for your answered prayer is a mechanism designed to drain your frequency. But to completely master this temporal sovereignty and step into the absolute, godlike immunity of the eternal now, we must entirely dismantle the greatest, most convincing architectural illusion the physical world ever constructed. We must examine the exhausting, profound fiction of tomorrow. Since the exact moment your beautiful, infinite spirit entered this third-density construct, the unconscious architects of the dense world recognized a terrifying problem. They knew that you were the infinite source. They knew that your consciousness was capable of instantaneous, staggering creation. To keep a god trapped inside a limited, physical matrix, you cannot use physical walls. A god can simply walk through walls. To trap a creator of your magnitude, you must build a cage out of concepts. You must build a cage out of time. And so the Matrix taught you the devastating lie of linear progression. They taught you that reality is a long, straight road. They placed your current, lacking self at the beginning of the road, and they took your massive wealth, your profound peace, and your perfect love, and they placed it miles down the road in a mythical, unreachable coordinate called the future. They taught you a terrifying, exhausting philosophy. I will be happy when... They trained you to endure the present moment as a punishment. They conditioned you to sacrifice your current peace, to grind through your days, and to constantly project your life force forward, desperately hoping that if you walk far enough, if you suffer long enough, and if you wait patiently enough, you will eventually arrive at the destination. But I want you to look closely at the mechanics of this trap. Tomorrow never actually arrives. When the sun rises, it is simply today again. The horizon is an optical illusion. No matter how many steps you take toward it, it remains exactly the same distance away. By convincing you to place your desire in the future, the Matrix completely tricked you into holding a present moment frequency of lack. When you say, "My wealth is coming tomorrow," you are actively, violently declaring to the unified field, "I do not have my wealth right now." And because the universe is a flawless, unbroken mirror, it does not hear your words about tomorrow. It only feels your frequency of today. It looks at your energetic state of waiting, and it perfectly, mechanically delivers exactly what you asked for. Another day of waiting, another day of distance, another day of staring at the horizon. The exhausted character spends their entire life running on a treadmill, staring at a screen that displays their answered prayer, completely unaware that the treadmill is powered by their own desperate yearning. But I want you to listen to the ancient, quiet truth vibrating beneath my words. A truth that immediately, permanently shatters the dense matrix of linear time. There is no road. There is no distance. There is no future. The concept of time passing is simply the sensation of your own consciousness slowly moving through states of being. The only thing that exists, the only coordinate where the universe can ever deliver your manifestation, is right now, this exact, silent, magnificent second. By completely dropping the concept of tomorrow, you instantly unplug from the matrix. You step off the exhausting treadmill. You stop projecting your power into a void that does not exist, and you pull the entirety of your godlike life force directly back into your physical chest. Breathe this immense elemental reassurance completely into your physical vessel. Feel the heavy, gorgeous release of knowing you never have to wait for your life to begin ever again. You are not a traveler on a long journey. You are the destination itself. Draw your profound, quiet awareness entirely away from the exhausting linear treadmill of the 3D matrix and let it sink deeply back into the absolute, unshakable safety of your own expanding chest. Take a very slow, deeply intentional breath in through your nose. Feel the pure, blinding light of your infinite, instantaneous power entirely filling the vast, newly cleared space within your physical vessel. And as you release the breath, let the heavy burden of needing the physical world to slowly deliver your answered prayer completely and utterly dissolve into the earth beneath you. You have recognized the profound illusion of tomorrow. You have remembered that the 3D world built the waiting room simply to keep you trapped in a frequency of lack, and you have entirely surrendered the exhausting game of staring at the horizon. But as you stand in the absolute quiet majesty of this new, present moment sovereignty, we must address exactly how creation actually functions outside of linear time. We must completely redefine the architecture of reality itself. To completely master the eternal now and permanently collapse the distance between yourself and your answered prayer, you must understand the ancient, flawless mechanics of the spherical reality. I want you to visualize the dense, exhausted character of the old paradigm. When this character visualizes their massive wealth, their profound peace, or their flawless love, they imagine it sitting on a shelf miles down a long, dark hallway. They believe that their current reality is the only one that exists, and they must exhaustingly walk down that hallway day by day, month by month, year by year, to finally reach the shelf. The old character believes that the universe is building their desire out of physical materials, and that the universe needs time to assemble the pieces. They believe creation is a process. But you are a master. And the master knows the absolute, undeniable law of quantum mechanics. Creation is already finished. The unified field is not a factory slowly building your desires. The universe is not a construction site. The quantum field is an infinite, limitless ocean of every single possible reality, every conceivable timeline, and every single version of yourself that could ever possibly exist. And they all exist simultaneously, right now, in this exact, silent, magnificent second. I want you to visualize reality not as a long, straight hallway, but as a massive, glowing, infinite sphere entirely surrounding your physical body. Every single point on that sphere is a different timeline. The reality where you are struggling, the reality where you are waiting, the reality where you are profoundly wealthy, the reality where you are completely at peace, the reality where you are entirely sovereign. They are all resting on the surface of that sphere, existing at the exact same time. You are not walking toward your answered prayer. You are standing perfectly still in the center of the sphere. Your consciousness, your godlike awareness, is simply a dial. Like a dial on a radio, you are simply tuning into one specific frequency on that sphere. When you are trapped in the matrix, when you are stressed, anxious, and constantly waiting for tomorrow, you are physically turning the dial to the frequency of lack. And because you are tuned to that frequency, that specific reality on the sphere lights up, and it becomes your physical 3D experience. But the reality of your answered prayer is not a distant point on a map. It is simply a different frequency on the exact same sphere you are already standing in. When you command your manifestation into existence, you are not asking the universe to build it in the future. You are simply declaring to the quantum field, I am turning the dial to this specific frequency right now. Your wealth is not 10 years away. It is vibrating right next to you, perfectly assembled, completely finished, and simply waiting for you to match its frequency in the present moment. Your profound peace is not located on the other side of your problems. It is a parallel reality that you can physically step into the very second you drop the map and stop waiting. This is the breathtaking, staggering quantum shift you are being called into. You must completely stop viewing your manifestation as an event that is going to happen. You must begin to relate to it as an event that has already happened, and you are simply allowing your physical senses to catch up to the broadcast. Breathe this immense, elemental instantaneity completely into your physical vessel. Feel the heavy, gorgeous release of knowing you never have to cross a single inch of distance to reach your answered prayer ever again. You are not a traveler. You are the infinite dial. If this profound realization is rewriting the very architecture of your physical timeline, replacing the agony of waiting with the staggering thrill of absolute immediacy, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Let this deliberate action serve as your physical anchor to this new, unbroken reality of godlike quantum shifting. Leave a like on this transmission to physically signal your absolute, expanded present moment frequency to the unified field. And in the sacred, quiet sanctuary of the comments below, cast your unshakable decree into the collective consciousness. Type these exact words. Creation is finished. I turn the dial. Rest entirely in this magnificent, unyielding space. You are completely safe. The radio station is perfectly broadcasting your new life right now. Allow your physical vessel to soften even further. Draw your quiet, heavy awareness down, away from the vast, infinite expanse of the spherical reality, and let it rest entirely in the gentle, unbroken, absolute stillness of this exact, magnificent second. Take a very slow, deeply intentional breath in through your nose. Feel the cool, expanding air filling the magnificent, infinite space within your chest. And as you let the breath simply fall away, release the final, lingering memory of the Matrix's demand for a timeline. Let the exhausting, agonizing need to constantly check the physical world for proof of your manifestation completely and utterly dissolve into the earth beneath you. You have recognized the profound, unshakable mechanics of the quantum field. You have remembered that creation is entirely finished, that your answered prayer already exists as a perfectly formed frequency on the sphere, and you have permanently shattered the illusion that you must travel to reach it. But as you stand in the absolute quiet majesty of this realization, holding the dial of your own consciousness, we must address exactly how you walk through the physical 3D world while the reflection catches up to your new frequency. We must completely redefine your relationship with the concept of when. To permanently collapse the illusion of linear time and force the dense matter of your reality to instantly snap into alignment, you must initiate the death of waiting. I want you to visualize the dense, exhausted character of the old paradigm. When this character attempts to manifest their massive wealth or their profound peace, they declare their intention, and then they immediately turn around and stare at the physical 3D mirror. They wake up the next morning, check their bank account, and say, "Is it here yet?" They walk through their day, looking at their unchanged circumstances, and they whisper to the universe, "When is this going to happen?" The old character is constantly digging up the seed to see if it has sprouted. And by constantly checking the mirror for proof, they are entirely abandoning the frequency of the answered prayer and violently returning their consciousness to the frequency of lack. To ask when is to scream to the unified field, "I do not have it." But you are a master now, and the master knows the absolute, undeniable law of the physical mirror. The reflection cannot change until you stop checking it for permission to be happy. When the master turns the dial to the frequency of massive wealth, flawless peace, or total sovereignty, they completely drop the concept of when. The master does not wake up and check the physical reality for proof, because the master knows the physical reality is simply a lagging echo of yesterday's frequency. You must adopt the staggering, unbroken stoicism of a creator who has entirely killed the waiting biome. When your logical mind panics and asks, "When will the money arrive?" you must not answer it with a date. You must simply close your eyes, expand your chest, and declare with absolute, terrifying authority, "It is already done. I am simply watching the physical matter rearrange itself to match my command." You must begin to inhabit the state of your answered prayer so deeply, so completely, and so aggressively in the present moment that the physical 3D world has absolutely no choice but to instantly bend to your will. You must walk through your house as the wealthy version of yourself right now. You must drink your water as the profoundly peaceful version of yourself right now. You must completely saturate this exact mundane second with the heavy, undeniable gravity of a creator who has already received exactly what they asked for. When you completely drop the exhausting burden of waiting, you remove all the friction from the quantum field. You stop resisting the present moment, and you become a flawless, unblocked conduit for the manifestation to finally pour into your physical reality. Breathe this immense, elemental immediacy completely into your physical vessel. Feel the heavy, gorgeous release of knowing you never have to check the clock ever again. You are not a watchman waiting for the dawn. You are the sun itself, simply choosing to rise. If this profound realization is rewriting the very code of your daily existence, replacing the frantic anxiety of when with the staggering, relaxed thrill of now, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Let this deliberate action serve as your physical anchor to this new, unbroken reality of godlike presence. Leave a like on this transmission to physically signal your absolute, relaxed authority to the unified field. And in the sacred, quiet sanctuary of the comments below, cast your unshakable decree into the collective consciousness. Type these exact words. I drop the clock. I am the arrival. Rest entirely in this magnificent, unyielding ownership. You are completely safe. The physical world is frantically rearranging itself to match your silence right now. Allow your eyes to gently soften, or let them completely close, as we move into the deepest, most profound physical integration of this entire transmission. Draw your quiet awareness entirely away from the frantic, ticking mechanisms of the clock. Pull your attention back from the calendar, back from the distant, imaginary landscape of the future, and let it rest entirely in the heavy, expanding, unbroken center of your own chest. Take a very slow, very deliberate breath in through your nose. Feel the cool air traveling down, entirely filling the deepest chambers of your lungs with the pure, unshakable light of this exact, magnificent second. And as you let the air slowly leave your vessel, command every single muscle in your body to completely and utterly release the exhausting, agonizing urge to wait. You have recognized the profound illusion of linear time. You have remembered that the future is simply a waiting room designed to drain your godlike power, and you have entirely mastered the breathtaking sovereignty of dropping the clock. Now, we must permanently anchor this temporal mastery into your cellular structure. We must perform a deep, physical integration so that when your logical mind attempts to scan the horizon for proof of your manifestation, your nervous system does not violently pull you back into the frequency of lack. We must physically teach your body how to inhabit the eternal now. I want you to visualize your physical body right now, but do not see yourself standing on a long, straight road leading into tomorrow. I want you to visualize yourself floating perfectly, quietly, in the exact center of a massive, glowing, infinite sphere of light. This sphere is the quantum field. It is the absolute totality of creation, and every single point on its surface is a different timeline, a different reality, existing perfectly and simultaneously in this exact moment. Now, look closely at the energy within this sphere. Somewhere in the shimmering distance of this spherical reality, you will see a blinding, radiant, golden frequency. It is the exact, perfect, energetic signature of your answered prayer. It is the massive wealth, the flawless peace, and the staggering sovereignty you commanded in the void. The exhausted architect of the old paradigm would look at that golden frequency and believe they must slowly, painfully walk toward it, dragging their physical body through days and months of linear time. But you are a master, and the master knows they do not need to move. They only need to draw the frequency to themselves. I want you to take a slow, massive, deeply intentional breath directly into the center of your chest. As you pull the quiet air into your lungs, I want you to consciously, physically command that massive, blindingly golden frequency to collapse the distance. Pull it entirely out of the mythical future and breathe it directly into your physical vessel right now. Draw the golden light of your answered prayer straight into your chest. Feel the sheer, staggering volume of it entering your body. Notice how your rib cage physically expands to accommodate the frequency of having exactly what you desire. Notice how your shoulders naturally drop and your jaw completely relaxes, because the agonizing tension of waiting has been entirely annihilated. Very slowly, release the breath. As you exhale, let the final lingering illusion of tomorrow completely turn to ash and fall out of your body. Exhale the anxiety of the calendar. Exhale the exhaustion of the journey. Exhale the subtle, draining urge to check the physical mirror for permission to feel this peace. Take one more deep, expansive breath, pulling the absolute, infinite totality of your new timeline into every single cell of your body. Imagine the reality of your manifestation flooding down your arms, filling your hands with the staggering weight of a finished creation. Feel it rushing down your legs, permanently anchoring your feet into the bedrock of this present moment. You are entirely untouched by time. You are completely unaffected by the Matrix's demand for patience. And as you hold this expanded, majestic posture, watch what happens to the massive sphere around you. The entire sphere instantly shifts its frequency to match you. The physical world has no choice but to instantly, seamlessly align with the command you are holding in your chest. The search is completely over. The waiting room is entirely empty. You have arrived. If your beautiful spirit feels the undeniable, staggering reality of this physical integration, if you feel the deep, heavy, unbreakable presence of your answered prayer perfectly alive inside your chest right now, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Let this deliberate action serve as your physical anchor to this new, instantaneous reality. Leave a like on this transmission to signal your absolute, expanded present moment capacity to the unified field. And in the sacred, quiet space of the comments below, cast your unshakable mastery into the collective consciousness. Type these exact words. I breathe the future into the now. The wait is over. Rest entirely in this massive, radiant fulfillment. You do not need to check the clock. You are the only time that exists. Draw your gentle, heavy awareness back from the boundless, glowing sphere of the quantum field and let it settle very softly into the steady, powerful, unbroken rhythm of your physical heartbeat. Feel the profound, unshakable architecture of your own chest. Notice the absolute, breathtaking absence of anticipation. Notice the staggering, euphoric stillness that has completely replaced the frantic, exhausting urge to watch the clock, to scan the horizon, and to wait for a mythical tomorrow to finally deliver your answered prayer. The desperate need to postpone your joy, to endure the present moment as a punishment, and to calculate the distance between yourself and your desires has been entirely washed away. There is only this exact, magnificent second, and you are entirely, perfectly vibrating at the frequency of the arrival. You are about to step back into the visible, moving world. You are about to rise from this quiet sanctuary, open your eyes, and walk back into the dense, linear timeline of your daily human existence. But you are not returning as the fragile, exhausted traveler you once played. You are not returning as the terrified character, constantly checking the calendar and begging the universe to hurry up. You are returning as the master of time. You are returning as the sovereign who has completely collapsed the distance. In a few moments, the physical sun will rise on what the 3D matrix calls tomorrow. The unconscious world will inevitably continue its frantic, ticking demands. The people you pass will continue to exhaust their precious life force, desperately running on a treadmill, chasing a horizon that mathematically cannot be reached. You will watch them completely surrender their godlike power to the heavy illusion of time, drowning in the exhausting cycle of perpetually waiting for their lives to begin. But you will never again join them in the waiting room. When your 3D reality presents you with a momentarily unchanged circumstance in the days to come, or when the logical mind attempts to whisper, "When is it going to happen?" you will not view it as a delay. You will simply smile at the profound, flawless mechanics of the lagging physical mirror. You will close your eyes, you will completely drop the need to check the clock, and you will perfectly, instantly pull the frequency of your answered prayer directly back into the present moment. You will walk through your days with the quiet, undeniable dignity of a creator who knows that they are not traveling toward their wealth, their peace, or their perfect reality. They are simply wearing it right now. You will accomplish your tasks. You will interact with the physical plane, and you will navigate the 3D world, but you will do so from a state of total, unbroken completion. You will no longer endure the present moment as a stepping stone. You will completely saturate every silent, beautiful second with the staggering confidence of a master who has already received everything they asked for. You are entirely supported, and you are completely invincible in the eternal now. To ensure that this new, magnificent frequency of absolute immediacy does not simply fade away when the screen goes dark, we must perfectly anchor it into your physical reality. We must cast a final, quiet decree into the unified field, declaring your absolute sovereignty and your permanent resignation from the exhausting job of waiting. I invite you to subscribe to this channel right now. Do not do it out of habit. Let this profound, simple action be a silent, eternal vow to yourself. A promise that you will never again postpone your frequency to a future that does not exist. A vow that you will forever trust the supreme, instantaneous capacity of your own consciousness and allow the physical world to simply catch up to your command. Leave a like on this final transmission to send a physical, undeniable signal of total, present moment fulfillment out into the deep. Let it be the heavy, unbreakable gravity of your awareness, telling the universe that you have completely stopped waiting for the delivery and you have already opened the box. And finally, to permanently seal this magnificent mastery of time, journey into the sacred space of the comments below. Join the collective frequency of the masters who have also chosen to completely dissolve the illusion of tomorrow today. Cast your simple, profound breath into the vastness by typing these exact words. I am the eternal now. The waiting room is closed. Type it slowly. Feel the absolute, undeniable truth of those words radiating from your fingertips, dissolving every last trace of anticipation and anxiety in your entire physical vessel. Breathe in the vast, unbroken reality of the present. Exhale the exhausting illusion of the journey. You are completely whole. You are perfectly arrived. And your beautiful, unshakable reality is finally happening exactly right now. Rest well. The clock has absolutely no power over you.